The 2025 offensive line class feels pretty polarizing by many in the NFL draft community. There doesn't seem to be a clear-cut number one prospect, and while the depth feels solid, you do worry about how many potential starting tackles you're going to find in this draft class. There are still some very talented players in this group that I do think can have an impact at the NFL level, but that seems few and far between in this group. One player who has caught the attention of many is Arizona right tackle Jonah Savaiinaea, a player who looks to follow in the footsteps of Jordan Morgan, who was a first-round pick in 2024, and a player who brings some very intriguing upside. How high could we see Jonah taken in the 2025 NFL Draft? That is what we will be going over in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon page if you guys want exclusive access to my big board and draft guide. It's $5 a month with over 450 prospects and counting on there, with all sorts of really valuable information that I think many of you guys will enjoy. Leave a like on this video and comment which players you guys would be interested in seeing in a future episode, and without further ado, let's take a closer look at Jonah Savaiinaea. Jonah has been a really productive piece for the Wildcats offensive line over the past couple of seasons. In 2023, he played in 889 offensive snaps, allowing 16 pressures, 11 hurries, and 2 sacks on the year, which are overall really solid numbers. In 2024, he has looked solid through Arizona's first 4 games, but I don't think it's anything remarkable. He's given up 8 pressures, but he's yet to allow a sack on the season, and many people do think he is a first-round talent in this draft class. Jonah has absolutely phenomenal size for the tackle position. He is 6'5", 330 pounds, and plays with incredible mass. Some people have questioned his length, saying that he may transition better to guard at the NFL level. And while his arm length is nothing spectacular, I do think he has solid length to play at the tackle position in the NFL. He has experience playing all over the offensive line at Arizona, however, taking snaps at left tackle, right guard, and right tackle in his collegiate career, and I do think he provides very interesting flexibility. I think my favorite part about Savaiinaea is his run blocking. He's a really solid athlete, with quickness to get into the second level, but he does a very nice job of helping secure the edge as a tackle, as well as playing with some nastiness and physicality. If you guys have followed the channel for a while, you guys know I love those blockers that just play with a mean streak in the run game, and he has that. He plays with a level of nastiness, which I absolutely love to see, and I think he's got really interesting run blocking upside. He isn't the greatest puller in the world, but I don't think it's anything that he's bad at either, and I think he provides a lot as a run blocker. I also think he has tremendous upper body strength. He did a really good job of getting his hands on the outside shoulders of defenders and really holding his ground. He does have some penalty concerns from time to time because he does tend to land blocks high at times, but it's not something that I'm too concerned about. On the tape I've watched, it's not something I've really seen too prevalently. He plays with a wide base, which I also like, and in terms of technique, there are a lot of positive things for offensive line coaches to work with. As a pass protector, he has some things I would like to see him work on. I just don't think he has tremendous footwork. His anchor shows flashes, and many people would say that's one of his biggest strengths, and there are certain reps where he felt dominant and he just felt immovable, but other times I felt like he was pushed back a little easier than I would like to see. He also just felt a little choppy in terms of his movements and pass protection. In terms of stepping back and getting his hands up, it wasn't really a smooth transition for him. He never felt very smooth, and it caused him to get beat on his inside shoulder from time to time. He really lacks the hip flexibility and bend that you look for in a starting tackle, which could further prove the point maybe he's a guard at the NFL level. The other area of inconsistency is his pad level. Jonah plays incredibly high and looks almost completely vertical in some situations, making him more susceptible to being beat. I would like to see him play lower to the ground, and I do think this would help him improve his anchor. When you generate more power from your lower body, you've got more strength, and I think that's something that he is lacking in right now, and if he could change that, I do think he would be a clear-cut top tackle in this class, but it's just a lot of little inconsistencies that do worry me in his game. Jonah Savaiinaea has some really intriguing tools, athleticism, and great production, but you do have some concerns about him in pass protection and some inconsistencies in his technique, and while I definitely think he does more good than bad, and I am a big fan of him, he is my number 5 offensive tackle in the class as of now, and my number 42 overall player. The upside is there, you can clearly see that, but he's got to clean up some of the inconsistencies if he's going to be a star at the NFL level. In terms of a scheme fit, I think he fits best in a heavy rushing scheme. He is much better as a run blocker than he is as a pass protector, at least as of right now, and he plays with a level of nasty that you love to see. I think coming into the NFL, with his size, I would like to start him at tackle. There are concerns, there's no doubt, but he does give you the flexibility to kick inside if you need him to, and something that we've learned, playing these tackles and converting them to guards doesn't always work. The length question is not something I'm worried about, and I do think he has shown enough potential at the collegiate level to be a solid tackle, and that's the route I would take with his career, at least to start. Jonah reminds me a ton of New Orleans Saints left tackle Taliese Fuaga. Many people thought Fuaga was an amazing run blocker, but questioned some of his pass rush tools and considered moving him to guard at the NFL level. The Saints have started him at tackle early on in his career, and he's looked amazing so far and been very productive. Both Fuaga and Savaiinaea have phenomenal size, great power. I think they have a lot of the same tools entering the league. I think Fuaga is a better overall athlete and a little bit better with his feet, but I think in terms of hand placement and where they are in terms of their development, they're very similar players. Jonah Savaiinaea has a mean streak. He's got remarkable quickness and athleticism in the run game, he's got the ideal size, and he shows flashes in all phases. He is still a bit raw, but I believe that Jonah Savaiinaea will be a top 50 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.